I have seen the most unhinged, completely dissociated and detached social media influencers suggested on my social media in general. And these are the titles that I'm seeing, and it's mind-blowing to me how many of these videos have been uploaded either on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok over the last 24 hours, when it's clear that most people know that there is significant conflicts and disputes happening abroad in the Middle East at the moment. However, regardless of this, I am seeing YouTube titles such as Spring Unboxing, What to Wear in Spring Summer 2026, Come and Go Luxury Shopping with Me, How would you rate these bags, shoes and small leather goods from 1 to 10? I think when content is so tone deaf to the realities of what's going on in real life, that's when I have to think to myself, what kind of world are we living in?
Unloading all the baggage off the planes. I don't know what we're going to do. We haven't had any text messages. I assume we're going to have to check into a hotel somewhere. And then it's really annoying actually because we have got events, and I'm just like, now I'm trying to schedule in my head, like, right, what artists are available? Job, like, what have we got next week? We've got meetings, to cancel them.
I am okay with the privileged being in the fuck around and find out state. I am okay with people who have never seen devastation be devastated. I am okay with folks that somehow think that war is just some inconvenience to their travel. To learn what displacement looks like, up close and personal, first-hand experience style. I have zero sympathy for anybody who in this moment have chosen to go to the United Arab Emirates with all that we know in terms of their involvement with the genocide in Sudan. And in the same breath, have zero sympathy for those of you who think you're bigger than the program, but absolutely look forward to your introduction to it.
I don't know what's going on, we're still waiting. We've been in the airport, it's 10 to 5 now. We got here at midday, so we've been here nearly 4 hours. Our flight's meant to be at 2:30. No update. All the calls say all flights suspended until further notice. We're just getting a bit fed up now. We've got our luggage.
The thing is, with this chick, I understand how annoying it must be being stranded in an airport. You're waiting for your flight, you've made your plans, and your schedule is completely disrupted now. But it is as if she doesn't even know what the hell is happening. But that is just the narcissistic mindset of someone who's a social media influencer. And I know some people might come at me and say, oh, but you're hypocritical. Look at the themes of your YouTube channel. You focus on music, art, culture and lifestyle. It's not that I don't have a responsibility to acknowledge these things. Yes, I do think it's really important to at least have a comment on, at least be up to date and keep up to date with the news and current affairs. But at the same time, I do understand how important it is to maintain a type of image. But then I think by creating a video like this, at least I'm acknowledging how that can affect society and the wider kind of implications of this, how this will affect your income or your expenditure. I do think this is really important, but to completely be disconnected to why this is happening or the reasons why you aren't going to be catching your flight on time, I do think this is very narcissistic.
All of the ground staff taking bags off the planes, so that's how you know that we're not going anywhere and we're going to have to go back out and back to an airport because they're literally running around on the tarmac like crazy, unloading all the baggage off the planes. I don't know what we're going to do. We haven't had any text messages. I assume we're going to have to check into a hotel somewhere. And then it's really annoying actually because we have got events, and I'm just like, now I'm trying to schedule in my head like, right, what artists are available to do what job, like what have we got next week, we've got meetings, we're going to have to cancel them. We just don't really know anything, they've not communicated anything, but I suppose this is actually above airport staff now, like this is bad, but yeah, it's not been great. We feel like it's been a waste of the day.
See, this is what I mean. A waste of the day for who? For her. And I can play a little sad song if I really wanted to.
Then we're going to go back to a hotel. Hopefully they've got a nice hotel, otherwise we might be able to get this day's a bit of a nightmare for me.
Hopefully they put us in a nice hotel, because this day is really a nightmare. I do worry about meetings and clients. Now in the last 24 to 48 hours, the Iranian two leaders have been killed. 2 schools around here killing over 100 people. There's been at least 1 fatality from missile strikes in Abu Dhabi. Airports and skyscrapers in Bahrain struck by drones. Numerous ways of flight international airport with injured people harm. A woman looking killed in Tel Aviv due to a missile. At least 4 staff members were injured in Bahrain international airport due to a missile strike. This is her worst day at work because she has to get a suboptimal hotel and has to meet Catholic Dickens. She did a follow-up video talking about how she didn't see the news, despite explicitly stating in her video that she was reading the news. So it seems like it's a bit of a PR cover.
And I know this particular video has been going viral recently. You may or may not have seen this video, but this was the first one which I saw, which made me step back a little bit. And I can't imagine how it must be, whether you are a civilian or non-civilian and you are in one of the countries in the Gulf state, or you happen to be in UAE at the moment and you're not military trained and you are completely just stuck in the middle of this particular conflict. It's a war now. And seeing it for yourself in front of you obviously is very terrifying. I wouldn't want to wish anyone any harm or anything like that. I wouldn't want anyone to be blown to pieces, or them seeing drone strikes, or people seeing missiles being intercepted, or anyone seeing a building being blown up. Of course I don't want anyone to even be in the middle of that, be involved in this, or be able to see it for themselves. Clearly, this woman is going to have PTSD for the rest of her life after moving to Dubai. She's either reconsidering all of her life choices, or she's going to post about how this is a major inconvenience to her life for the time being.
Yeah, I'm actually so scared. I'm in JDC right now and I can see. Oh, no. Not meant to be happening here. I don't know when to start. My biggest concern is that people, like, I don't want anyone getting hurt, you know what I mean? Like, I've been hearing loud explosions, like, in the background all day, and it's like, oh, like the sound, it shakes the windows. I don't know how to explain it. It's the weirdest sound ever.
Okay, look, I'm not an expert when it comes to geopolitical situations and conflicts and negotiations and stuff like that. But what I do know is that if there is going to be a particular area which is geopolitically very volatile or very high stakes or very risky, I would try to bypass all of the bullshit that's being told to me about living in Dubai or living in a certain area, because your lifestyle is going to be better than if you are going to be staying in your country of residence over here in the UK for me. Bonuses and advantages to totally relocating my life and then going abroad in the UK. And also on top of that, when I do earn a wage, that's not going to be taxed. Okay, whatever. But if this is going to be at the expense of not being blown to bits, then I think someone would need to try and convince me again about what the pros and what the advantages are.
It's not meant to be happening here. Those are the words uttered by hundreds of white people that never thought the violence of the regimes they were supporting would be facing them face to face. She then goes on to universalize, but she clearly doesn't believe it. Oh, I don't believe anyone should be hurt, but I'm really concerned that I'm considering being hurt. And I shouldn't have to handhold very far to point out how callous and privileged and disgusting this is, but it is an interesting admission of all of those things, because it admits how the understanding that we are comes with the tacit understanding that other people are not. But that is denied from our understanding. It is rejected from our collective consciousness by the idea that discussing it is political. You can live in the UAE, you can support it, you can visit it and fund it. And it's political or not acceptable to discuss how they are getting their hands. But the second that it affects you, suddenly you are very, very aware of how here is different than there. And as the American empire and its proxies in the United Arab Emirates and Israel fall, we are seeing that difference split. We are seeing the privilege of being within the empire, the privilege not being subject to the American empire's violence, slowly break away. And it won't happen all the time, and I don't think it'll singularly be from Iran, but that privilege is breaking. And as we see it break, the admission of that privilege is becoming clearer. To recognize that you are safe in the empire is to recognize that everyone else is unsafe because of the empire. The most effective way you can undermine it is by dismantling that genocidal empire and its violence, not just bemoaning when the natural and entirely inevitable effect of its extreme aggression happens, retribution.
I genuinely offer people to come on this jet, friends of mine, and said, I want to come to England, and they're like, no man, we like it in Dubai. It's nowhere near as unsafe as you think right now in Dubai. There's no war zone going on. The UAE government are doing a very good job of not just protecting people against missiles, but also putting people up, giving them free hotels, people that are stuck. It's not as bad as you think. Don't believe everything you read in the newspapers. And I'm going back to the UAE, once I finish my business in the UK, and I'm going to be completely safe. I genuinely offer people to come on this jet.
Completely safe, he says. He's going to be completely safe. Well, you know what? I will be following his social media, and then I will see how correct he is about that and how long he'd be able to uphold that theory. But the first post that I saw was on the 1st of March when there were missiles being targeted at UAE, and more specifically in Dubai.
Right now I'm in Dubai. This is my house. There have been missiles for the last 20 hours coming after the Palm, coming after Dubai. Personally seen them. We had debris falling over our house. I've literally seen missiles coming from the Palm and then being blown up in the sky by the military defence team. Thank you for the messages, for everybody that was messaging me asking if I'm safe and if the family is safe. The answer is yes. Everybody's safe here in Dubai. Nobody has died, thank God. However, it's a little bit unnerving, absolutely, and also the most annoying thing is the airport has been closed down. So I was actually supposed to be flying out to the UK. I'm supposed to go on a plane right now, but I had to cancel my plans. So as soon as the airport reopens, I am coming to the UK. Not to escape, but because I've got a massive event on the 5th of March, so on Thursday, which I just cannot miss. So the second it opens up, I'm coming down. There's still missiles, just very recently, about half an hour ago, missile. But every single missile that has come this way has been stopped in its tracks. So shout out to the military defence team of the UAE. No, not everything's on fire. I mean, look, that is the Burj Al Arab. It's not on fire. I mean, the other side is the Atlantis. I can see it all from my balconies, and it's completely fine. There have been some fires, there have been some injuries, but considering there have been over 200 missiles, I mean, I used to think that Dubai was the safest city on the planet. I've changed my mind. Now I don't think it's one of the safest cities. I think it is absolutely categorically the safest city on the planet, considering that there's no reason that anyone should ever want to attack Dubai. We're not at war with anybody, we're peaceful, we're neutral. It's just because of all the complexities with Iran and US and Israel, we've been caught in the crossfire. But they came with 200 missiles and drones, and every single one was blocked. Pop, pop, pop. Absolutely fantastic.
They completely forget where they are. What was it? Where there were loads of zombies and they have to go to the pub, to the Winchester, have a pint and then let it blow over. What was that film called again? It wasn't Hot Fuzz, it was the other one. Anyway, I will remember. I'll pop a little... I'll pop the title on the screen somewhere, but it's just like that. Oh, don't worry, I'll just grab a pint, I'll go into the Winchester, have this all dealt with, and it will all blow over. It should be absolutely fine.
She did say that because he's on herself so much. I don't think we're going to get too much more information over her, to be honest. I know she's boots on the ground and everything, boots on the ground journalism, but I'm not sure if we're going to get much more. But anyway, I think she is okay because then she posted this.
But then I open Instagram or I open TikTok, and then there's a finance bro or some gym bro who is spitting propaganda, and I'm hearing totally disconnected, disassociative, and just totally unhinged stuff like this.
If you watch the news, you would think the entire Middle East is on fire right now. I'm in downtown Dubai, but if we look around, cafes are full, families are out, and tourists are everywhere. It feels completely normal. Yes, you hear activity sometimes in the sky. That's not chaos, that's security working. People are out, businesses are open, and no place is completely isolated from the tension. What matters is the response. And I'm grateful.
So he said it himself, no place is isolated from the conflict and from the surrounding volatile situation that's escalating. So what are you going to do about it? Mate, they would have to drag me away from an airplane if I was at customs. I would be befriending a pilot. I will be going on every dating site that I can find and then making friends and cozying up to a pilot, to any airline. I really don't care. I would fly Ryanair for the first time if I have to. I'll be on a plane straight out of the Gulf state to the UK or anywhere else. But don't at me, don't come for me. If you happen to be a pilot who is in UAE, or anyone who is in UAE at the moment, or if you are a Dubai influencer or a finance bro or whatever, like, I do not care. If you think that you are safe, good for you. I am perfectly 100% and categorically safe here in my in my home in the UK at the moment.
Tax yesterday, and let me tell you, everything feels calm, everything feels peaceful. The Western media are absolutely blowing it out to all ridiculous proportions. I'm not even joking. This is not kind of a joke. This is actually not a joke. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so I was going to say, all good. And the Western media is absolutely blown out of all proportions, which it is. But then literally, as I was making this video, I look over there in the distance and look at this. So I don't really know what that is. I ain't seen that before. So, I don't know, but I'm not going anywhere. Dubai's amazing. The UAE.
You are here. Not even over here. Not even as far. You're here, bro. You're here. This is where you are. This is Iran. Strikes are happening here. These are where strikes are happening.
Look at how the war is spreading. A ballistic missile fired from Iran towards Turkey, a NATO member, shot down as it crossed the Eastern Med this morning. Across Tehran, more explosions. Israel also says it shot down an Iranian jet today. 5 people have been killed in Isfahan province. In Lebanon, 6 killed in that Israeli strike in Baalbek. The Israeli army says it's advanced further north, including to the town of Qiyam. To the Gulf states.
First, let's address the elephant in the room. It's a playing. It's empty. What do rich people hate? They hate poor people. So if you walk around the streets of Dubai, it's empty. There's no people in the streets talking to each other, no music playing. There's nothing you get out of the experience of Dubai besides, oh, this is where people spend their money, this is where I buy things, oh, look at all these tall buildings. There's no Dubai culture, right? Like, New York City has culture, Chicago has culture, Tokyo has culture, New Delhi has culture. Like, there's people walking around, you know what I mean? Like, all the people who work in Dubai don't live in the city. They live away from their city, and they all get paid like slave wages. My last point, there is literally no reason for a woman to go to Dubai because there is someone there currently trying to figure out a way to sex traffic you. You fucking raise your voice at someone, you're wearing the wrong attire, someone lies and say they feel disrespected by your presence, done.
Okay, yeah, no, this is one of the reasons why I do not want to go to Dubai unless I'm part of a really close-knit circle, or I know if I'm going to go into Dubai, I'm getting the fuck out of Dubai. As long as that is guaranteed, then that is going to be something that I might consider if I do travel to the Gulf state. Hi, so this is Natalie doing the late night edits for this video. So I forgot to record an ending, but I did want to say that I did listen to a debate which occurred earlier today on the BBC Radio 2 Jeremy Vine radio show, where there was a discussion regarding whether Dubai influencers who are returning back to the UK should be liable for paying UK taxes, or if they do decide to stay abroad, anywhere in the Gulf state or in Dubai, if they should get support from the UK government, even though they haven't been paying tax since they were an expat. I'm going to leave you with this discussion. Leave your opinions in the comments box below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you did want to browse any other of my YouTube content, then feel free, have a browse, take a look. Thank you very much for listening and watching, and just take care of yourself. Bye, guys.
Pay our taxes anymore. We are being fleeced. We're going to go live somewhere. And we all said, okay, good luck to you. And then suddenly they need our help. They haven't been contributing to British society. And I just can't help feeling, well, look, there you go. Karma played a big hand here. This is where you did need actually the British government's help, and you're asking for British government's help, but on taxpayers' dime. And I can't help feeling a little bit, well, that's unfair to taxpayers here that we're having to bail you out now after years of you saving money. And people like Oakshott, They really did. They rubbed it in our faces. They made a big song and dance that we refuse to pay our taxes to contribute to British society. And now we're here in this country, and now we're stuck, and they're expecting our help. I don't feel it's fair.
I think Isabel Oakeshott is at the moment feeling safe, but if she called on the British state to help her, I suppose
if they did.
Well, yeah, Ross Clark. What do you think?
If help,
yeah, go on, Narinda.
If you expect help from the British government, if they do, then at the same point, then you should be contributing to the British government.
Right, Ross Clark. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, what we just heard there, and also from Ed Davey earlier, is an argument for saying the Foreign Office, UK state, should never help UK citizens who are living abroad, because the tax rates in Dubai here are an irrelevance. I mean, if you are a UK citizen living in abroad, whether it be America, France, any country, you will be paying taxes locally to the government there. You will not be funding the Foreign Office. So to say that someone in Dubai doesn't deserve to have Foreign Office help, you're saying Foreign Office should never help anyone, any British citizen who is living abroad.
Well, it is on holiday, that's different. But if someone has moved away from the UK and is an expat, I don't think they would necessarily get much help, would they?
I know there's a lot of influencers, if you want to call them, who are leaving pretty vacuous lives out there. Some have unfortunately allowed themselves to become propagandists for some of the Gulf states too. But that should be an irrelevance. If you're a UK citizen living abroad, the Foreign Office should be helping you in some way. It comes to evacuating you. Now, take Dubai. It's not just a case of influencers. There are 240,000 UK citizens who are living in Dubai. And more in other Gulf states. They're not all influencers. There are teachers, there are engineers, there are doctors, nurses among them. People who have found it difficult to establish careers in Britain who've gone out to Dubai because that is where they can find the work to further their careers. And I really find it's quite an unpleasant attitude that, all UK citizens out in Dubai are being sort of written off as if they're vacuous influencers who don't deserve our help.
There we are. Respond to that, Narinda.